Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today our group will be presenting on continuous wave, Doppler and pulse wave Doppler. Doppler ultrasound is an important imaging technique that helps evaluate blood flow in the body. Throughout this presentation, we will explain the principle, application and differences between continuous wave and pulse wave Doppler. Without further ado, let's begin our presentation.
In page 2, I will explain the definition of continuous wave or CW Doppler. CW Doppler used to piezoelectric crystals where one crystal continuously transmits ultrasound wave while the others continuously receive the returning impulse. This allows it to measure blood flow velocity continuously and accurately, especially for very high blood flow. However, it cannot identify the exact depths or location of the blood flow. Now, let's move on the pulse wave or PW Doppler. Unlike CW Doppler, PW Doppler use one crystal that alternates between transmitting and receiving ultrasound wave. This allows it to measure blood flow at a specific location, known as the sample volume. However, PW Doppler may experience Ionizing when measuring very high blood flow velocities.
Assalamualaikum and good evening, madam. My name is Izzat Amir bin Abidin. For my part, I will explain the principle of operation of continuous wave Doppler or CW Doppler and pulse wave Doppler or PW Doppler. Starting with CW Doppler, it uses two separate crystals. One crystal continuously transmits ultrasound waves while the other continuously receives the reflected waves. By measuring the Doppler frequency shift, the system can calculate the velocity of blood flow. The main advantage of CW Doppler is that it can detect very high blood velocities without experiencing aliasing. However, its limitation is that it cannot determine the exact depth or location of the blood flow. On the other hand, PW Doppler uses only one crystal, which alternates between transmitting and receiving ultrasound pulse. This allows the system to measure blood flow from a specific sample volume at a selected depth. The advantage of PW Doppler is that it provides accurate location information, making it possible to identify where the blood flow is occurring. However, at high velocities, PW Doppler may experience aliasing, which can affect the accuracy of the measurement. In summary, CW Doppler is more suitable for measuring high blood velocities, while PW Doppler is preferred when precise depth and location information are required.
In page 5, I will explain the advantage of both Doppler technique. CW Doppler can measure very high blood flow velocities accurately and does not experience Ionizing, making it suitable for severe stenosis. Meanwhile, PW Doppler can measure blood flow at the precise location with better spatial resolution, which is why it is commonly used in routine ultrasound examination.
Now I will explain the application of continuous wave and pulse wave Doppler. Continuous wave or CW Doppler is commonly used for heart valve assessment, severe arterial stenosis, and cardiology examination because it can measure very high blood flow velocity. Meanwhile, pulse wave or PW Doppler is used for carotid artery assessment, peripheral vascular examination, obstetric Doppler, renal artery examination, and echocardiography because it can measure blood flow at a specific location. Overall, both techniques are useful in different clinical situations depending on the type of blood flow being examined. In summary,
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera kepada pensyarah serta rakan-rakan sekalian. Nama saya Aizat Fitri bin Muhammad Faizal. Untuk bahagian pembentangan saya akan menerangkan tentang image display atau ciri-ciri paparan bagi continuous wave Doppler dan pulse wave Doppler, serta menunjukkan contoh image ultrasound bagi kedua-dua teknik ini. Slide ini menunjukkan perbezaan antara continuous wave Doppler dan pulse wave Doppler. Di sebelah kiri ialah continuous wave Doppler. Teknik ini menggunakan gelombang ultrasound secara berterusan. Jadi ia mampu mengukur had laju aliran darah yang sangat tinggi tanpa mengalami Ionizing. Selain itu, continuous Doppler wave mengukur aliran darah di sepanjang keseluruhan laluan pancaran ultrasound. Walau bagaimanapun, kelemahannya ialah ia tidak dapat mengenal pasti kedalaman atau lokasi sebenar aliran darah yang diukur. Di sebelah kanan pula ialah pulse wave Doppler. Teknik ini menghantar gelombang ultrasound secara berdenyut atau pulse. Kelebihannya ialah ia boleh mengukur aliran darah pada satu lokasi yang spesifik dan dapat menentukan kedalaman aliran darah dengan tepat. Namun jika had laju darah terlalu tinggi, pulse wave Doppler boleh mengalami Ionizing, menyebabkan bacaan had laju menjadi kurang tepat. Oleh itu, pulse wave Doppler lebih sesuai digunakan untuk had laju darah normal hingga sederhana. Seterusnya, slide ini menunjukkan contoh paparan ultrasound bagi kedua-dua teknik Doppler. Di sebelah kiri ialah image continuous wave Doppler. Kita dapat lihat bahawa tiada sample gate atau kotak kursor digunakan. Ini kerana continuous wave Doppler mengukur semua aliran darah yang melalui laluan ultrasound. Oleh sebab itu, ia sangat sesuai untuk mengukur had laju darah yang sangat tinggi, tetapi tidak dapat menentukan kedalaman sebenar aliran darah tersebut. Di sebelah kanan pula ialah image bagi pulse wave Doppler. Berbeza dengan continuous wave Doppler, kita dapat melihat terdapat sample gate, iaitu kotak kecil yang digunakan untuk memilih kawasan tertentu yang ingin diukur. Ini membolehkan operator mengetahui lokasi dan kedalaman aliran darah dengan lebih tepat. Namun pulse wave Doppler kurang sesuai untuk had laju darah yang terlalu tinggi kerana boleh berlakunya Ionizing. Sebagai kesimpulan, continuous wave Doppler sesuai digunakan apabila ingin mengukur had laju darah yang sangat tinggi, manakala pulse wave Doppler lebih sesuai apabila ingin mengetahui lokasi dan kedalaman aliran darah dengan lebih tepat. Sekian, itu sahaja daripada saya. Terima kasih.
In summary, continuous wave Doppler is suitable for measuring high blood flow velocities and does not experience Ionizing, but it cannot identify the exact depth of blood flow. On the other hand, pulse wave Doppler measures blood flow at a specific location and is the most commonly used Doppler technique, although it may experience Ionizing at high velocities. Both techniques have their own advantages and are selected based on the clinical application. Thank you.